Welcome into Toyota Stadium, the site of the Dallas Cup U17 Girls Final between FC Dallas and Sting Soccer Club here in Frisco. It's been a competitive week for both of these sides, and it's now culminating with a final opportunity for both squads. They've both had commanding wins throughout the week, and now looking for one more to finish things off with a trophy win in front of the home Dallas crowd for both sides.
Yeah, Nick, you mentioned their dominating performances. We'll talk about that right after that.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and play the national anthem.
And now let's roll into our starting lineups right after addressing our referees. Head referee Amy Balbier, assistant referee Rachel Glago, assistant referee Grace Barrett, and our fourth referee Elizabeth McDonald, all out of the USA and all out of the National Premier Soccer League. They will be officiating this matchup here between Sting and FC Dallas. And now for our starting lineups for both sides.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are the officials for today's match. The officials are from MPS.
We'll start with the FC Dallas side. It'll be Mia Slater, Kate Demore, Casey Cochran, Layla Iglesias, Maya Muniz, Addison Shimmick, Riley Albin, Trinity Morrow, Addison Miller, and in goal, Lola Iris Ta. On the other side for Sting, Ronalise Hartfield, Tatiana Beeman, Kennedy Butler, Catherine Pinto, Isabella Vallone, Jalen Traver, Taylor Richardson, Samantha Tovar, Brooklyn Baldwin, Olivia Cotton, and Sienna Ryan. As both sides sharing one final moment before getting things started in the U17 Girls Final of the Dallas Cup. We talked about it briefly, Gil, about the road for both of these teams. Some dominating wins along the way. We'll start with the Sting Soccer Club side. It was a 10-0 win over Solar SC earlier in the week. 1-0 over a fellow FC Dallas youth squad, the Blue. And then a 9-0 win over the Dallas Texans to wrap up group play. And then in bracket play, a 5-0 win over Solar SC. And a 1-0 win over a team from Frankfurt, Germany. On the other side for FC Dallas, 7-0 over Dallas Surf, 3-0 over the Dallas Texans. How about a 16-0 win over a Solar SC squad? And then in bracket play, 3-0 over the Dallas Texans and 4-3 yesterday in a banger against Solar SC. So both of these squads certainly know how to score, and they certainly know how to defend. And it's led to both of these teams squaring off in the final. We'll have FC Dallas in the red and Sting in the white.
Yeah, Nick, exactly what you mentioned. Both squads obviously know how to score the ball. Both of them with at least one double-digit win over their rivals here, whether it was in group play or whether it was in the bracket play. Sting coming out with a 4-2-1-3, a bit of a controlling in a possession-wise lineup here with two midfields right in front of the back line. And FC Dallas in the red coming out with a 4-1-2-3, more offensive as you're going to have three up top as well. But definitely, like we've mentioned it all day long, it's going to take the first couple of minutes to see how each team comes out. It is the final. And as we mentioned, both teams know how to score, and they know how to score well. So we're expecting here, we're hoping to get a lot of goals here in this U17 final between FC Dallas and Dallas Sting.
And getting ready to get things started, it'll be Sting to get us going.
I think they were waiting on the lines. Referee, both of them were checking the corner flags. They seem to be ready to go here. And the center referee is going to blow the whistle in just a couple of seconds to kick this one off. Again, it's Sting against FC Dallas in this U17 girls final for all of the marbles from Toyota Stadium here in Frisco, Texas.
Now, early win here in an attacking position for FC Dallas, trying to strike here in the first minute and just off the top of the post. It was an opportunity for Mia Slater, and it just goes over while everybody was trying to find their seats just 20 seconds into the match.
20 seconds in, like you mentioned, Nick, and the ball is already hitting one of the goalposts here for FC Dallas. They got through those lines of Sting FC quick, and they made their presence known in their opposing box. As we mentioned, these teams know how to score, and FC Dallas already showcasing that here. They're wasting no time. They're going to go for the early lead here in this one as we get the first corner kick of the game in under a minute already.
Really good corner, punched out, still in dangerous area and cleared out by Sting. In goal for Sting is Sienna Ryan. And now running down the side is Kennedy Butler for Sting. Kennedy Butler trying to take advantage here on the counterattack, and then poked out on that back line for FC Dallas.
Kennedy Butler already showing off the wheels here in this one, showing that she's able to dribble the ball. Not only dribbled it well, but dribbled it pretty quick and got through that FC Dallas midfield and even some of their back line. At the end, FC Dallas put a stop to that attack from Sting, but already both sides with promising starts to this one.
Number 21.
In goal for FC Dallas is Lola Iris Ta.
Number 11, Taylor Richardson. Number 17, Samantha Tovar.
Cleared out to Addison Miller.
Number 26, Jalen Tramer.
Midfield to Layla Iglesias.
Isabella Balone.
Trying to push it further.
Sting is
Trying to hunt down Addison Miller once again.
assisted by Jordan
Getting it into the box to Bridget Gooch.
and Tom Blencar.
Here's Miller. Now Gooch with a cross inside, looking pretty good. And Ryan able to cut that one off.
Ryan coming up in this one to intercept that one. It looked a bit dangerous for a quick second as the ball took the bounce there and inside the 18-yard box, but at the end, Ryan comes up with the ball and gets that one out of trouble easily.
Trying to get it upfield. Kennedy Butler, we've seen Kennedy Butler on both sides of the pitch now.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if she's going to change as the game goes on, or if maybe in just that first play she was caught on the left side of the field and her original position is the right wing. And that's what it looks like it is. I think she's going to play in the right wing for this final. Maybe was just caught on the left wing in that first play, like we mentioned.
A throw in here for Sting. And out of play, it'll be a corner. Or excuse me, it'll be a goal kick for FC Dallas.
I don't know if it's the energy drink I had a couple of hours ago or what, but this game seems to, or the energy seems a bit higher in this one, at least in this first couple of minutes. I don't know if it's just me or you as well, Nick.
Yes, certainly here. We've already seen an early shot on goal. This U17 girls final, these have been the two powerhouses throughout group and bracket play. Now working into the midfield area. Lele Iglesias trying to look inside, cut off by Samantha Tovar. Now working down to the far side to Kennedy Butler. Butler has been an energizer bunny here so far. Maybe you're catching some of those waves. And a bit too far looking for Tatiana Beeman. Head coach for FC Dallas is Gareth Evans. On the other side for Sting, it's Michael Orford. And push to the back line, Brooklyn Baldwin. Swung over to Samantha Tovar. Back to Baldwin. Trying to get it inside to Kennedy Butler. That midfield line doing a good job for FC Dallas.
Yeah, Sting we've seen here in the last couple of minutes kind of slowly jumping those lines and pushing forward and taking possession of this one. On the other side, you got FC Dallas just patiently waiting. Again, we had that super quick start and that super quick first shot from FC Dallas that hit the post. Doesn't get more dangerous than that, and we're certainly expecting that and more throughout this next first half and also the second half.
Tovar back through to Baldwin. Working that far side to Olivia Cotton. Inside to Isabella Vallone. Vallone to Tatiana Beeman. Beeman slowly working it in. Good job by FC Dallas to intercept it and step through. FC Dallas trying to get out ahead of it. Couldn't quite do so. Rolls all the way into Sienna Ryan. Side to Jalen Traver. Sting's done a good job of maintaining possession, but haven't quite gotten it past that midfield line of FC Dallas. FC Dallas trying to find another attack opportunity, couldn't do so.
Yeah,
Whereas Mia Slater trying to find Bridget Gooch.
Yeah, Slater looked like she was going to start to build up here a dangerous play with that through ball, but just too much on that one, and Gooch unable to chase it down. And she could have had an easy one-on-one against the goalkeeper, but again, too much on the pass.
All the way back to Lola Iris Ta. Now FC Dallas trying to build up for an attack. Taylor Richardson on the far side. Getting it over to Mia Slater. Mia Slater had that shot that went off the goalpost in the game's first minute. Now here's an opportunity for Lele Iglesias. Iglesias from the top of the box stumbles over the ball, and that was just enough for Sting to recover. Lele Iglesias maybe wanted that run back, but here's FC Dallas right back on it.
Yeah, as you see on the replay right here, Iglesias looking to cut back on the outside, trips on the ball, and then Sting coming up big, stopping this one. Iglesias, though, showing off those skills and being able to dribble for a good chunk, for a good amount of the field, and at the end, not able to capitalize.
Here's Sting able to clear it out. Back to Addison Miller. Trinity Morrow. Over to Riley Allen. Riley Albin, excuse me. Sting trying to get out in front, just hasn't been able to do so far.
once again, Kennedy Butler very involved in the possession of every possession, I should say, that Sting has. She seems to be the one taking the lead here early in this final for her team and making sure they're established well, making sure they're carrying the ball. Now they're looking to get past the back line of FC Dallas and make this one a dangerous play.
Tatiana Beeman crossing it in inside. There was no one home. And Lola Iris-Ta able to corral it and send it back through. Mia Slater trying to run it down. Able to do so, trying to cut it inside the box, Mia Slater. And a couple of defenders able to avert that. Brooklyn Baldwin and Olivia Cotton on that side. And now here's a foul in a dangerous part of the field for FC Dallas. They'll have a free kick from about 20 yards away.
Yeah, first dangerous free kick here of the game, and that comes after Slater just made the entire play herself, nearly took two defenders there, lost the ball for a little bit, but all of that effort caused this dangerous free kick, like you mentioned, Nick, here for FC Dallas with just 10 minutes into this U17 final.
Here's the send in. It's a little deep. And now an opportunity from the top of the box and rolled right in. Didn't get great contact on it.
That one doesn't get any better than that. She was wide open outside of the box, had a clear view to the goal. Just like you said, though, doesn't get the contact that she wanted, and it goes wide right.
That was Maya Muniz. There's Taylor Richardson. Back to Samantha Tovar. Tovar sends it in. And cut off by FC Dallas. Trying to find an attack off of it. Unable to do so. Kennedy Butler trying to run this one down. Look how fast Kennedy Butler is on the ball. Trying to get after it. Look at Kennedy Butler down the side. Sting might have an opportunity because of Butler right here. Crossed inside, and a good job by Lola Iris-Ta to cut it off. But how about the speed of Kennedy Butler on display?
This play, Kennedy Butler down the sideline, gets the cross before the ball goes out of bounds. Unfortunately for Sting, no one there in the middle to capitalize on this big chance. But again, like we've mentioned already, Kennedy Butler being the one taking the charge here for Sting and making sure her team creates chance after chance.
Now back and forth on that back line for FC Dallas. Riley Albin and Trinity Morrow.
FC Dallas looking to slowly build something up here, taking their time after that scare by Kennedy Butler. Now FC Dallas with the ball again, moving it around from side to side.
Here's a potential opportunity for Iglesias. Kayla Iglesias trying to work it inside. An opportunity and deflected. Good job to step in front of that one.
Yeah, good play there by Kayla Iglesias getting down the sideline, but mistake came when she stepped into the box. That one, she had a couple of options in the middle and decided to go to the goal, and the Sting defender able to step in front of that one and put a stop to that dangerous opportunity.
That one rolls all the way out of play. Throw in up to Mia Slater. And here's Slater. She's shown off some speed here early on, too. Had the shot on goal in the game's first minute, trying to find more room. It'll be a foul against Slater. Too much contact. A free kick deep into the FC Dallas end.
Yeah, that entire sideline between Kennedy and Slater, they're going at it in between, showing their speed and showing their ability to make plays for their teams as well.
Middle of the field, back and forth here, trying to control possession each side. Still in search of the game's first goal, entering the 15th minute. Sent all the way back to Sienna Ryan. Ryan over to Samantha Tovar. Headed through. Now Sting trying to find a run here. That's Ronalise Hartfield. Now up to Tatiana Beeman. Beeman trying to swing it into the middle. Couldn't quite do so. Cut off by FC Dallas. And Beeman able to win possession back. Over to Taylor Richardson. Taylor Richardson collides with a couple of FC Dallas defenders, and then there, some contact and a foul. As Casey Cochran hit the grass, it'll be a free kick just past midfield for FC Dallas.
Yeah, let's take a look here at the replay. She tried going between two FC Dallas defender, unable to. Gets the slide tackle, but the referee not buying that one and calls this one a foul for FC Dallas.
Head ref Amy Balbier. Now here's a goal kick. We've seen the ball mostly on this half. Sting has had their opportunities. It's been more so with counterattack type of motioning. FC Dallas, they've had a couple of threatening attacks. Oh, and Mia Slater just pushes down.
Yeah, I think the defender there, exactly what she wanted, kind of baited her into running into her, gets the easy call, and gets the possession back to her squad here, wearing the white jersey and the black shorts. FC Dallas in the red and the navy blue shorts.
That was a push from behind from Addison Miller on Tatiana Beeman. Here's Taylor Richardson to take the free kick. Here in the 18th minute, still scoreless. Good defense from both sides. Isabella Villon sends that one in. Cut off. Now here's Slater working in the middle. Casey Cochran working it upfield, trying to find Bridget Gooch. Gooch able to find it on the right wing. And crossing it in to the top of the box here, Slater. She's got a couple of defenders around her. Can she find enough room to get a shot on goal? And deflected. Good job there by Brooklyn Baldwin to put a body on it. Slater right back on it. And then cut off by Olivia Cotton and cleared out.
Yeah, obviously not the result Slater wanted in this one, but she keeps doing a good job at shielding the ball when she gets inside the box, waiting for other opportunities or maybe other teammates to kind of pass the ball. She's serving as that post kind of striker that they call, you know, with, like I mentioned, shielding the ball well and looking for any other opportunities when the one in front of her isn't the clearest one.
There's Isabella Villon. Took a bit of a push, no whistle. Possession will go over to FC Dallas and given right back to Sting. Right here in the midfield area. Trying to find some room on a push. Up to Tatiana Beeman on the left side. Beeman doesn't have many teammates around her. It's cleared out to Mia Slater.
Still scoreless in this one after almost 20 minutes. And we were just talking earlier in this one with both of these teams with at least one double-digit win. Sting beating 10-0 earlier in the tournament, beating Zoller 10-0 earlier in the tournament. On the other side, FC Dallas beating another Zoller team 16-0. Right now, though, in the final, playing for all of the marbles. This one's still scoreless, 0-0, 20 minutes into the game.
We play 45-minute halves in this division. If things are still level after 90 minutes, we will head straight to PKs to decide the Dallas Cup champion. Here's Mia Slater with a cross. It's a good-looking one. Here's Iglesias. And Lele Iglesias just couldn't find a touch. Now here's Beeman trying to work down the other side. Now finally into the box, just barely. Catherine Pinto over to Jalen Traver, excuse me. Pinto working it back into the middle of the field. And it'll go out of play and over to FC Dallas.
FC Dallas's high pressure resulting in staying loose in control of the ball. And now FC Dallas looking to be on a counterattack, cut short by Sting, though. Now they're going to look to build up all the way from their goalkeeper.
Iglesias looking for Bridget Gooch. Gooch will be able to run this one down if she can get it before it hits the back line, unable to do so.
That one from Iglesias, just too much on it. It looked like for a second Gooch was going to get there to track this one down. But again, not quite yet. And Sting gets the goal kick. Still scoreless in this one, 0-0. Oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah, it definitely was. Brooklyn Baldwin able to get it out of danger. Mia Slater has been pressing on deep in the FC Dallas half throughout this first half.
Yeah, I'm all for coming up and slow build up and touching the ball around, but not that much inside your own 18-yard box.
Here's Kennedy Butler. Back over to Catherine Pinto. Pinto in some trouble, and a good one-on-one win there for Maya Muniz. Put out of play. Back to FC Dallas, quick throw in. Trying to keep possession going. And battled around in the midfield. Given back over to Sting.
Yeah, I think this one's going to come down to whatever team can take control of the middle of the field. As you see, a lot of space there for right now, but whichever squad is able to come up with a few touches and build a good attack, starting from the midfield and up, I think should be able to take the advantage here in this one.
Here's Tatiana Beeman. Over to Ronalise Hartfield. Hartfield sending it in and brought down by Lola Iris Ta for FC Dallas.
She was looking for Kennedy Butler on the outside. Unable to find her. Butler just a tad bit late for this one. Credit to the FC Dallas goalkeeper. And Iris Ta cutting that one short. Not the first time she's done that today. She's cut a couple of them short. So credit to her.
Here's Lele Iglesias. Back over to Iglesias off the one touch. Beeman able to cut it off. Now to Hartfield, working back in the middle of the field to Pinto. And on the far side to Butler. Back in the middle to Pinto. And cut off there and some contact. It'll be a foul and go over to FC Dallas as Casey Cochran hit the grass.
Yeah, we've talked about Kennedy Butler for the Sting side. Now on the FC Dallas side, I think it's Iglesias who's been the one kind of moving the ball around and determining the pace of her team, being involved in a majority of the plays here in this first half of this final.
Nice one bounce long pass. Good touch on the far side. Trying to get it up to Mia Slater and rolls out of bounds. And throw in for Sting. Sent all the way through. Cut off. Good job by Jalen Traver. Traver trying to get it out in front to Kennedy Butler. Here's Butler with her speed, trying to work it back to the middle of the field. Nice touch to get it over to a teammate. And then cut off by FC Dallas. This midfield work back and forth. And like you mentioned, Gil, whichever team can find some control in this midfield may finally be able to break through.
Yeah, and I think right there was the perfect example of that. Kennedy Butler on the Sting side had to come all the way down to the midfield to grab a ball and try to bring it back up. The FC Dallas midfield answering to that by cutting that one short and themselves getting control and building something up. It didn't lead to nothing major, but again, that FC Dallas midfield right now showing more control than Sting.
Look at Kennedy Butler trying to run it down and able to force a corner. Good job by Kennedy Butler. Get it off of off of Riley Albin.
And let's see if Sting can take advantage of this corner kick here. See what they try to do. Putting this one into the 18-yard box, obviously, but let's see who they try to target. As we see the replay one more time, Kennedy Butler hustling.
Speed, man.
Just zooming through defenders. She's been doing that since the first whistle.
So good height here on this corner. And a good job to head it out. Oh, yeah. Collision of bodies, and that's going to be a foul from about 30, 35 yards away. We'll have a free kick opportunity.
Yeah, not
for
the most,
Sting.
Not the most pleasant fall right there. She was already jumping, and that little push just it just gives you a little bit more momentum, and it causes that landing, that awkward landing, I should say.
A lot of teammates hovering around, and they are going to call the trainers over to take a look at her here in the 28th minute. We're trying to get a number on that one for you. Trying to see who needs the attention. Both sides will come to their respective sides. Looks like it's Olivia Cotton, potentially.
Yeah, I think it is the right back for Sting there that ended up being played high up on this one, where this one came after the corner kick there. So obviously she was on the attack. But after jumping to that ball, again, that little push just gives her that much more momentum to make the landing awkward. And I think, yeah. That left hip is the one that took all the damage.
Ooh, yeah, and that is Olivia Cotton, number 3. Fell right on her left side. Certainly going to leave a bruise. See if she can remain in this game. Right now, it's not looking like she'll be able to.
Slow to get up, needing help.
Olivia Cotton's going to walk off the pitch here. And holding her back, so you're hoping that the backbone and hip is all right after that fall. She gave some good defense for her team, though, in the game's first 28 minutes. She'll walk to the side and be replaced here in the 30th minute. Now the head official asking for both teams to come back out onto the pitch, as Cotton will resort to the sideline and hope that she is okay.
Yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye out for that. See who's going to – it looks like they have her replacement ready. Just talking to the referees right now, or they're checking on Olivia to see if she's able to come in. Nope. They're going to substitute her, and that's –
it's going to be Catherine Williamson coming in for the injured Olivia Cotton.
definitely not what you want to see here at Toyota Stadium. But it looks like Olivia Cotton, she's right now talking to the doctor and standing on her own and going through certain exercises now. So everything seems to be good. I think she just gave a thumbs up to somebody in the stands.
That's good. Just have to work that one out. It's going to be tough, especially here in a final. I'm sure she'll want to remain in the game, but health of the most importance. The bright side is she did win a free kick for her team from about 30 yards away. Tatiana Beeman will take it, a wall right in front of her, and the shot bounces off of that wall and into the hands of Lola Iris Ta.
Yeah, I think she was looking for that straight shot to the goal, unable to get over the wall in this one. Could have been a couple of options there, maybe a pass to the middle of the box. She chose to go straight, and the wall stopped it.
Here we go for FC Dallas now into the box and cut off by Brooklyn Baldwin. It'll be a corner for FC Dallas on the near side. Sent through. Good positioning for it, but headed out of the box. Possession will remain on this side with FC Dallas and then eventually cleared out. There's Addison Shimmick. Be out of play and over to the Sting side. Isabella Villon. Far side working with Jalen Traver. Now Kennedy Butler trying to control possession, unable to do so. That was actually Catherine Williamson, her first touch of the game. She'll throw it in right here. Looking inside for Ronalise Hartfield. And cleared out of play. It'll be a Sting throw in. Still scoreless here in the 33rd minute.
Yeah, I think we're starting to get a game where both teams are somewhat still looking to establish their style of play. We saw FC Dallas do that for a couple of minutes earlier in this one, but thanks Sting answered again with a couple of dangerous plays, including that free kick we saw a couple of minutes ago. But lately, it's just been a game that's been played in the midfield with both teams looking to reestablish their style.
Foul committed against FC Dallas. Kennedy Butler took a fall. Now Isabella Villon trying to get out in front. More contact, no whistle this time. FC Dallas able to win possession back. Trying to send it ahead. There's a runner out in front. And the flag is up for offside. Bridget Gooch got a little bit too far out in front.
Yeah, I think she took off maybe a bit too soon on that one. And again, gets called offside. Something that I'm sure her coach will talk to her in the break here in this one. This is her second time, if I'm not mistaken, getting caught offside, just going a bit too soon. turning a dangerous play into a dead ball and giving the possession back to Sting. Ouch.
Yeah, back and forth. Hit right into the stomach of an FC Dallas player. Here's Kennedy Butler. Even when she's not moving, she's moving quick. And there's a foul. Butler able to draw it. It'll be a free kick straight away from about 35 yards.
Yeah, not the first time she gets, or she tries to get through a couple of defenders, and FC Dallas unable to stop her, so they resort to the foul. Another free kick here for staying in a dangerous zone. Let's see what they do with this one.
It'll be Jalen Traver to take it. She sends it right at the goal, and the wind just takes it away. And Lola Iris-Ta just watches it go behind her, and it'll be a goal kick. 10 minutes remaining in the half plus stoppage time. I'm sure we'll have a little bit more stoppage time than usual because of the Olivia Cotton injury. Mia Slater trying to run this one down. She won't beat Sting to the ball. Kicked back over to Sienna Ryan, who's been able to kick it in goal. No pun intended, for a little bit. I say that. Here's FC Dallas trying to form an attack and head it out. Good job there by Samantha Tovar. Kept on this side by FC Dallas. Here's Bridget Gooch. Gooch trying to cross it in, able to do so. And that one got a little dangerous. Sienna Ryan able to provide just enough contact on the ball to put it out of play. And it was a goal kick.
Way to get that play through by Bridget Gooch right there. Getting around a couple of Sting defenders, sneaks this one through. Could have been a dangerous play. FC Dallas knocking on the door here late in this first half, still tied up at 0-0.
It was Kate DeMoore who Gooch was trying to find in the middle there. It's been pretty evenly contested first half. It hasn't really felt like either team has dominated possession or anything of the sort. Both sides just standing tall on that back line. And really the biggest threat was in the game's first 20 seconds. Mia Slater attacking the goal. Since then, both teams have settled in. Done a pretty good job trying to find Williamson on that far side. Slater knocks it out. It'll be a throw-in.
Yeah, it's been a very rocky game for both teams, as we mentioned, both with.
Here's Kennedy Butler with a shot inside for Beeman, and Beeman just put a light touch on it. Tried to get it past Lola Iris-Ta. She accomplished that, but it did not go in the goal. And it's a goal kick for Lola Iris-Ta. That was a good-looking cross by Kennedy Butler.
Yeah, Kennedy Butler again with a good pass. I don't think Beeman was expecting to maybe get there, or I guess she was a bit late and, like you said, just barely touches it. Not enough to make this one a dangerous play for Sting. But like I was saying, I think it's been a choppy game for both squads, as both of them have been having their own moments, but not consistently enough to be able to put consistent dangerous chances in the box of the opposing team.
A quick free kick here for FC Dallas. Back on the ball. Sent all the way back to Ta. And now sent all the way back to Sienna Ryan. Looking to get it ahead to Tatiana Beeman. Couldn't quite. Now back in the midfield for FC Dallas. Here's Bridget Gooch. Back along to Casey Cochran.
wind here starting to pick up a bit, Nick. We mentioned the weather definitely got better in comparison to this morning. The wind slowed down in the last couple of matches, but not in this one now. Starting to pick up. Not so much affecting the game so far, but picking up slightly.
FC Dallas trying to find an attack here. A little bit of contact, no whistle. Now Kennedy Butler out in front. Look at the speed on display. Kennedy Butler moving down the middle of the field, trying to work through some defenders, and Kennedy Butler takes a shot and right into the hand of Lola Iris-Taw. When she gets out on a run, you never know what could happen.
Yeah, I think she was looking for her teammate Hartfield to make that run. She didn't make that run, so she decides to take her herself. Like you mentioned, that speed again, blowing past defenders. Is unable to get a dangerous shot on goal, but again, Butler once again making a dangerous chance out of what seemed to be nothing.
Now inside, a potential opportunity for Bridget Gooch. Here's Bridget Gooch, and just too heavy. Too heavy of a touch there in the box, and she accidentally rolls it to the back line. And probably fortunate for Sting.
Yeah, that control right there, right foot control ends up too much of a hard touch, as you see right here, and left foot ends up tipping it. And now it's a dangerous chance here for FC Dallas.
Yes, Sienna Ryan had to crash in on Kate Demore. A little bit of lapse in communication there on that back line for Sting, and it almost leads to a goal opportunity.
Yeah, like we talked about it earlier, they've done this a couple of times throughout this one. They look to come out touching the ball, but they do it too much in their 18-yard box, and the more you do it, the more chances you get to get in this type of danger. Now it's a corner kick for FC Dallas. Definitely a bullet that they dodged.
Here's this corner, has some good height on it, and it goes over the goal and out of play.
Let's see if they're going to look to try to pass the ball there and there. You see the FC Dallas players outside of the box right there. As of course, that's what the rule says. You have to give them some space. Again, touching it inside.
Okay, Demore's going to try and crash on him again. Say, hey, it almost worked for me a minute ago. And here's an opportunity potentially now for Demore, and cut off by Samantha Tovar. Demore and Tovar working in the corner. That would have cleared out to Catherine Williamson, but it'll stay on this side for FC Dallas. 3 minutes to go plus stoppage time in the first half. This U17 girls final of the Dallas Cup. Both sides with really efficient weeks so far, trying to cap it off with a win. And a shot inside by Demore and easily controlled by Sienna Ryan.
Sienna Ryan right there. Very secure in her line, and makes this one look super easy. Not the hardest shot already, but makes that one look super easy. And now Sting looking to answer back here with their main player, Kennedy Butler.
Running down the middle of the field as she does so well. Up to Ronalise Hartfield. Hartfield taking a shot at Lola Iris-Taw and easily corralled. Back up to Hartfield. Excuse me, that's Traver. Back to Hartfield. Now inside to Beeman. Tatiana Beeman looking for some room and couldn't control it. And cleared out of the box by FC Dallas. It'll be a throw-in. The attacking third for Sting.
Yeah, nice play there by Sting, but Beeman unable, like you mentioned, to get that first touchdown, and that one just goes a little too far. Unable to capitalize on that one.
And now here's FC Dallas. Nice little midfield play to get it to Layla Iglesias. Iglesias slows it down just a bit. Back up to Iglesias. Now working in. And that'll be a corner opportunity now after a deflection off of Samantha Tovar.
Good play there down the sideline by FC Dallas. Iglesias again. Little 1-2 touch results in this corner kick. Yet another one for this FC Dallas squad. Let's see if they could put one in the back of the net right before halftime and take that lead into the locker room here.
It'll be Casey Cochran to take the corner. and headed out. I believe that was Hartfield who got ahead on it. And now Kennedy Butler out in front, trying to run. Moving the joystick, Kennedy Butler trying to get out in front. Look how fast she can be on the ball. Couldn't run that one all the way down. She took on the whole back line of FC Dallas and almost outran them all.
Yeah, and when she gets the ball in space, I mean, you just got to, if you're an FC Dallas defender, you just got to pray and hope that you're able to slow her down somehow. But as we've seen this whole entire first half, they haven't been able to do that.
Now pushed a little too far and all the way through to Sienna Ryan. Now Tatiana Beeman and back and forth here in the midfield. We'll have 4 extra minutes here in the first half.
Rightfully so after that injury from Olivia Cotton, who had to be subbed off. She's on the bench right now, and it seems to be that everything's okay.
Gonna be a throw in on the near side for FC Dallas. They've been able to control possession for the last 5 minutes or so. Now Iglesias trying to work it in and kicks it out of play. Maybe a goal kick for Sienna Ryan and Sting.
Who would have thought this? Both of these teams came into this one scoring a lot of the goals here in this tournament, and we're going to go into half scoreless, it looks like.
Trying to work it inside. That was an opportunity potentially for Kate Demore to find some room, but headed out. I believe that was Brooklyn Baldwin who got ahead on it. Now working on the far side, FC Dallas trying to cash in on an opportunity here before the halftime break. Put out of play by Mia Slater. It'll be a throw in for Sting now. Here's Hartfield.
Nice.
Now an opportunity for Slater, and she was offside.
Good idea there by Iglesias, spotting her teammate with a little bit of space out on the sideline, but just a little too late from her and a little too soon from Slater there, resulting in offside, and Sting now back with the possession.
Up ahead to Kennedy Butler. Double teamed, and she just kicks it out of play for a throw in for FC Dallas. About a minute and a half remains here in the first half. Both sides looking for that first goal. A throw in here for Sting. And there is the final whistle after 3 minutes of stoppage time, although they called for 4. But nevertheless, we will head to the halftime break. A scoreless U17 girls final in the first 45 between FC Dallas and Sting. There were some highlights from that first half. We'll take a look at some of them after the break. But for now, a scoreless U17 final.
Our roots in this game run deep. We've been here, hydrating the grind with 50% more electrolytes. But it's time to raise the bar. This is our game, my game, your game, the beautiful game. From the ground up, we power soccer.
It is not the critic who counts, not the one who points out how the strong woman stumbles, or where the doer or deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the woman who is actually in the arena, so that her place shall never be with those cold and timid souls, who knew neither victory nor defeat.
The good news was our house sold fast. The bad news was our house sold fast. We were pretty shocked and overwhelmed. What should I do with my stuff? Should I put it in a storage unit? And that's when my daughter said, there's this company called Pods.
They bring the container, you fill the container, and they take the Pods container and put it in a secure place. It was a complete sense of security, knowing that our stuff is safe.
I would definitely recommend moving with Pods.
Welcome back into Toyota Stadium, the site of the U17 girls final where FC Dallas and Sting SC are scoreless. That doesn't mean we haven't had action in the first half. You could look at some bright spots on both sides. I think certainly for Sting, we've called out Kennedy Butler's name a few times, but also have to shout out that back line of Brooklyn Baldwin, Samantha Tovar, Taylor Richardson, and Katherine Williamson. Williamson coming in for the injured Olivia Cotton. And on the other side for FC Dallas, they've had some bright spots too.
Yeah, we got Mia Slater on one side, and then we got Bridget Gooch, they've both of them been creating plays down their sidelines on the right side, and on the left side we had a couple of chances. I mean, we saw FC Dallas with that quick chance just 20 seconds into the game. But after that, it just hasn't been that many that dangerous chance. They have had chances, but not as dangerous as that one in the first 20 seconds. Still scoreless here at the half, Sting FC and FC Dallas both scoreless 0-0 here in this U17 final here in Toyota Stadium.
It is not the critic who counts, not the one who points out how the strong woman stumbles, or where the doer or deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the woman who is actually in the arena, so that her place shall never be with those cold and timid souls, who knew neither victory nor defeat.
There's a big deal going on at Whataburger, like the new Big Ranch Wrap, a crispy chicken strip, buttermilk ranch, cheese, and fresh veggies in a warm tortilla. Or go bigger with 5 premium Whata chicken bites. Or go bigger than big with our Bacon Cheese Whataburger Jr. with fresh 100% beef and melty cheese. Make it even bigger with fries and a drink for a little more. Now that's a big deal. The Whata deal, now at What a Burger. Download the app.
Whataburger's Bacon Steakhouse Double. Do you need it or do you want it? Do you need creamy steak sauce, crispy fried onions, aged cheddar, and crunchy bacon? Or do you want creamy steak sauce, crispy fried onions, aged cheddar, and crunchy bacon? And want even is a want if we want the want so badly that the want becomes a need. How should I know? I just push the card. Enjoy your burger.
Creamy, crispy, crunchy.
The Whataburger Bacon Steakhouse Double is back. Download the app.
Our roots in this game run deep. We've been here, hydrating the grind with 50% more electrolytes. But it's time to raise the bar. This is our game, my game, your game, the beautiful game. From the ground up, we power soccer.
Welcome in, America. The Premier League season awaits.
A glorious finish by Saka.
At this stage, anything is possible.
Can Liverpool run it back-to-back?
Don't forget about Chelsea.
The Gunners are stacked.
Don't count out United. Watch out for City. This is truly anyone's season. So no matter who you're cheering for or where you're at, this year's gonna be epic. You'll fit right in.
The good news was our house sold fast. The bad news was our house sold fast. We were pretty shocked and overwhelmed. What should I do with my stuff? Should I put it in a storage unit? And that's when my daughter said, there's this company called Pods.
They bring the container, you fill the container, and they take the Pods container and put it in a secure place. It was a complete sense of security, knowing that our stuff is safe.
I would definitely recommend moving with Pods.
Our roots in this game run deep. We've been here, hydrating the grind with 50% more electrolytes. But it's time to raise the bar. This is our game, my game, your game, the beautiful game. From the ground up, we power soccer.
It is not the critic who counts, not the one who points out how the strong woman stumbles, or where the doer or deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the woman who is actually in the arena, so that her place shall never be with those cold and timid souls, who knew neither victory nor defeat.
The good news was our house sold fast. The bad news was our house sold fast. We were pretty shocked and overwhelmed. What should I do with my stuff? Should I put it in a storage unit? And that's when my daughter said, there's this company called Pods.
They bring the container, you fill the container, and they take the Pods container and put it in a secure place. It was a complete sense of security, knowing that our stuff is safe.
I would definitely recommend moving with Pods.
Welcome back into Toyota Stadium, getting ready for the second half of the U17 girls final. It was a hotly contested first half, but we still do find ourselves scoreless after 45 minutes. As Sting Black ECNL and FC Dallas Youth ENCL.
Yeah, both teams, Nick, FC Dallas and Sting, with a couple of chances throughout the first half. However, not able to find the back of the net. It's going to be a nerve-wracking second half here in this one, as both teams want to go home, crowned as the champion of this Dallas Cup here at Toyota Stadium. We talked about both teams coming into this one scoring a lot of goals throughout group stage and as well as throughout the quarterfinals and semifinals here. However, though, still tied 0-0. No substitutes from either squad. Both of them going into this one with the same 11 players they went into it starting off.
We'll get ready for FC Dallas to start us off here in the second half. And as soon as you say that, we do have a substitution.
Actually, I lied, people. They are. Right now, that's what's holding the start of this second half of their talking to the fourth official on the sideline to make sure they got the correct subs. And here we go. The second half here at Toyota Stadium. FC Dallas wearing red and blue shorts. Red jerseys, blue shorts, and then Sting on the other side wearing the white jerseys and the navy blue shorts. both tied at 0-0.
So that's Mia Slater that is checking out for FC Dallas. She was the one who almost had the goal in the game's first minute. And checking in her place is Brinley Ward. Now an opportunity here. And FC Dallas able to corral it.
Slater, like you mentioned, a key player for FC Dallas, not only in that first play of the game, but also throughout the entire first half. She made a couple of big plays and a couple of runs. Some of them were called offsides, but she was constantly putting up pressure. She gets subbed off here. Let's see how that works out for FC Dallas in the second half.
Now to the midfield area. Casey Cochran working to the near side. Layla Iglesias with a cross inside and easily corralled by Sienna Ryan. So a couple of touches now in the box for FC Dallas. Sting able to control both. As Ryan sends it all the way forward. And headed through. Now here's the speed on display by Kennedy Butler. And all Lola Iris Ta had to do was just kneel down in front and corral the soccer ball. Now here's some room here for Sting and quickly taken back. This back and forth midfield play was what kind of told the story of this first half. Now here's an opportunity out in front. No flag up. This is going to be an opportunity for FC Dallas and closed by Sienna Ryan to deflect that one out of play as Kate Demore got out on a run, but unable to take advantage.
What a play there by Sienna Ryan. Being able to back up her team and answer that one. That one-on-one was pretty dangerous by FC Dallas. They found the wide open player through the through ball. Unable to find the back of the net, though. This one's still tied 0-0. Now FC Dallas here with a corner kick.
Here's the corner inside. A little flip up over the goal. It looked like Riley Albin got a foot on it and put it to the left side. Here's another look.
Yeah, good corner there. Not the best contact, however.
Kennedy Butler is trying to find some room on this near side. Deflected out of bounds by FC Dallas. And a throw in here for Catherine Williamson into Kennedy Butler.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how long she can keep this pace up, because obviously she's been showing her speed off since the first whistle, and she's continuing to do that here in the second half, so I'm curious to see how long she can keep this up for.
Now FC Dallas trying to get out in front. Here's Layla Iglesias. So 3-on-4 inside the box for Iglesias. A little cross inside, and it was offside anyway. Kate Demore got a bit of a head start there.
And yet another through ball that FC Dallas is able to find success on right here. This time it was to Iglesias, who then ended up making that cross. Yes, it was offside, but something to make a note of here in the first couple of minutes of this second half. 2 dangerous through balls already for FC Dallas.
Now back and forth once again here in the midfield area. There's Kennedy Butler trying to get out in front, taken back by FC Dallas. Trying to find Iglesias inside the box. Iglesias will get there, tried to cross it in, and it was deflected by Sting. That back line doing a good job once again. Brooklyn Baldwin, Catherine Williamson. And Kennedy Butler sending it all the way through and cut off in the middle.
And I don't know
Addison Shimmick.
Sorry, but I don't know what was discussed in the FC Dallas locker room at halftime, but it seems to be working so far early in the second half. as they've already created a couple of dangerous chances, and here's possibly another one.
Here's Lily Iglesias trying to get out in front. Iglesias puts it back for just a moment. Now with her left foot trying to get it in. Still being in a dangerous area and miscommunication inside the box. It split Iglesias and Casey Cochran. They both watched it go by. Now Iglesias with a cross in. Couldn't find a teammate. Cochran sends it in, and now finally Lola Iris-Ta. That one was just an awkward approach from FC Dallas. And lucky for Sting that it didn't end with a shot on goal.
Yeah, this one, I think it took a couple of unexpected and awkward bounces to to benefit Sting and to the disadvantage of FC Dallas that they weren't expecting those bounces, and Sting gets away with this one.
Katie Butler back to Vioni. And we missed a substitution at some point for Sting, as Grace Peoples is now in the game. Looks like she may have come in for Catherine Pinto. So 44 in for 4 for everyone keeping score at home. Here's Kennedy Butler now trying to find some room. She's getting double teamed a bit more in the second half, and rightfully so. Here's Peoples, her first touch. Moving over to the far side to Taylor Richardson.
Peoples coming in to play that midfield role right here, and right behind the front three and the strikers, looking to take the ball from the midfield and feed her forwards. Something that they need to continue to do, and as we've seen, they've given a lot of balls to Kennedy Butler on the outside, but that's not the only thing you need to do if you're going to want to win this final. You got to find different ways to make dangerous chances in this one against FC Dallas, a back line of FC Dallas that also we got to give credit to. They've stayed disciplined throughout those dangerous chances that Sting has shown throughout the game.
Now a throw in for Williamson. Over to Kennedy Butler. Back into the midfield area. Jalen Traver. Over to the far side to Taylor Richardson. Sting trying to hold on to possession here now. That was a great pass, maybe a little too much on it actually. Catherine Williamson heads it out of bounds and go over to FC Dallas.
Yeah, good pass there, but Williamson unable to get control of that one. It could have turned into a dangerous chance for Sting had she been able to control that one and keep it in bounds down the sideline. Maybe would have connected with Kennedy there somehow.
There's a whistle. We'll go over to FC Dallas. Now back in the midfield area, back and forth. Maybe an opportunity here for FC Dallas. On the far side for Bridget Gooch. And Gooch just watches a deflection.
Oh, wow.
And awarded a goal kick. Yeah, maybe thought that could have been a corner as well.
Yeah, I thought it went off the defender from Sting in that one, and so did Gooch, but the referee thinking otherwise, and here comes Sting again, playing with the ball inside their 18-yard box like we saw in the first half. One of those ended up turning somewhat dangerous for Sting. They still doing it so far. So good.
Now trying to find a cross inside. This is dangerous. Ronalise Hartfield had a shot opportunity. It was deflected. Now Grace Peoples keeping control.
Not the strongest shot for Hartfield there. I don't think she was expecting that ball to bounce to her feet. So she wasn't able to connect on it, though. Put a good foot on it the way she wanted to. Left foot. But an FC Dallas defender. That's number 3, Trinity Morrow, who's able to step in front of that one.
Now FC Dallas trying to build a form here.
A better FC Dallas team so far in this second half with much more control of the ball and obviously more dangerous chances than Sting. Just talking about this second half so far.
There's Kennedy Butler out on a run. A couple of defenders assigned to her. Kennedy Butler trying to find a cross inside, and it's corralled by Sienna Ryan, or excuse me, by Lola Iris Ta.
Oh, one-on-one chance right here for FC Dallas.
And maybe even a cross opportunity. Layla Iglesias is left all alone in the middle. It was offside nevertheless.
Yeah, not the best pass. Obviously doesn't count and doesn't matter since it is offside. That one came after this Kennedy Butler play on the right side of the field where she had no one in the middle to cross it to, or kind of ran out of options.
Sent downfield by Sienna Ryan. Back and forth in the midfield, trying not to give up possession to FC Dallas in an attacking position. Now, FC Dallas trying to get out in front. Here's Iglesias on the left side. We've seen her make some crosses inside that have been somewhat dangerous. Looking for another. Able to do so, looking for Kate Demore. A little bit too far, still in the box. Threat has not been squandered just yet. And then Brooklyn Baldwin was able to clear it out.
Yeah, good cross there and good play. Good chance overall by FC Dallas in that one. Although their striker was unable to tap it in, it was a good cross from Iglesias to the middle of the box. Sting, once again, leaving that dangerous play behind and still scoreless in this one.
There's Brooklyn Baldwin. Upfield to Isabella Vallone. Vallone to the far side. Taylor Richardson. Sting just waiting for that right opportunity to try and sting.
Yeah, right now, all 10 players, obviously not the goalkeeper for Sting, but all 10 players just now were on this half of FC Dallas looking to keep possession of this ball, looking to move the ball up and down and side to side and create a dangerous chance. And I like what I'm seeing so far from Sting in this one. Not only, you know, in the first half, it seemed like sometimes they were forcing it to Kennedy Turner on the side, but now they're actually touching the ball around this cross right here. Cut short by Sienna Ryan. I'm sorry, by Iris Ta from FC Dallas.
Send through one in the midfield for FC Dallas. Casey Cochran on the bottom. Sent all the way through, was maybe trying to find Bridget Gooch on the far side. She couldn't run it down. There's Kennedy Butler trying to find another run at it and quickly collapsed by a couple of FC Dallas defenders.
Let's see what Kennedy Turner can do with this one. Sometimes she's running out of options quickly here because FC Dallas is taking care of that task.
Now upfield, Hartfield trying to win it. Some contact and a foul, and it'll go in favor of Sting. This will be a dangerous spot here for Sting for a free kick.
So we got a couple of substitutions coming in, one for each side.
Taylor Richardson will check out for Sting. And Addison Perez will check in.
And that's Sophie Preston checking in for FC Dallas.
She'll check in for Kate Demore. So now a couple of changes on the attack for FC Dallas, trying to find some sort of push and get that goose egg off the scoreboard. As we get ready for this free kick here for Sting. An opportunity across inside and easily corralled by Lola Iris-Ta. And sent back out in front, trying to find room on the counterattack. Quickly cut off. Now Kennedy Butler trying to run it down.
She's able to get the corner.
It will be a corner. FC Dallas didn't like the call. I think they may have had a case there, but nevertheless, it will be a corner take. Addison Perez with her first touch. She'll send it through. Batted out by FC Dallas. Back to Perez. And another corner won by Addie Perez.
Yet another corner kick here with 63 minutes into this one. And again, a reminder, if you're just now tuning in, after these 90 minutes, no extra time, straight to the penalty shootout. And that's how we will find out who the champion is if this one ends up tied 0-0. Dangerous corner kick here for Sting, the header, and they find the back of the net. Just as I was saying, if this one was going to be tied 0-0, we're going to the penalty shootout. Sting has an answer for that, and they find the back of the net. I think it's one of the center backs. Check it out one more time.
That's what you call the announcer jinx skill. A perfect cross inside. And a great job by Brooklyn Baldwin to get it in. Brooklyn Baldwin has played so well on that back line for Sting throughout this match. And she's the one who finally breaks through for both of these sides. Brooklyn Baldwin gets Sting on the board and a huge 1-0 advantage in the 64th minute.
Nice assist by Perez there, who just came in. Her first touch of the game was that free kick prior to this corner kick. And then in this corner kick right here, finds her teammate for the header, and now they open up the scoreboard. This one should make the game a whole lot more interesting when it comes to goal scoring, as we see FC Dallas looking to respond quickly in this one, already making plays down the sideline.
FC Dallas now has to have a goal to have a shot here at this U17 girls final. Sent inside, and Sienna Ryan controls it. Now back upfield. Onto the far side. Run Elise Hartfield. Trying to find Beeman and cut off. Good job there.
And I think right now FC Dallas might be missing the speed that Slater was showing in the first half. Obviously, she got subbed off earlier in the game. Right now, they don't have her speed down the sideline to be able to find her with those long balls, which is something that they're going to be looking for now that they're down in the scoreboard by 1 goal with a little bit under 20 minutes left in this one.
Now back and forth in the middle. Possession won by Sting. And 24 minutes remaining plus stoppage time. And a game that we saw scoreless for over an hour. Finally broken through by Brooklyn Baldwin in the 64th minute. Now on that far side, Bridget Gooch loses balance. Out of play, and it'll be a throw-in for Sting. Now here's FC Dallas winning possession in their third, but they'll kick it all the way back. Here's Kennedy Butler. We'll see if FC Dallas allows her to get out on a run. They will not. Butler will have to send this one to a teammate, and is able to do so. Peoples, a little header across to the back line for FC Dallas. Now inside, this would have been a chance there for FC Dallas, but couldn't quite corral it. Was Maya Muniz.
Yeah, unlucky bounce for Muniz on that one. She had a lot of green grass in front of her. It was going to be just her and the goalkeeper, but the ball decided otherwise, and they get unlucky with that one.
Out of play once again. Go to FC Dallas on a throw-in. FC Dallas increasing the pressure here. Was this offside? No flag just yet. Yes, it is. The goal ended up in the back of the net, but the flag is up as Sophie Preston got out in front of that one here in the 68th minute. Here's another look at it right here.
Yeah, just a bit too early for Preston on that one. Again, despite it being an offside, FC Dallas answering good after Sting put the first one in the back of the net. That one called offside. But FC Dallas, slowly but surely, taking control of this one and looking for the equalizer.
Now working in the midfield, here's Iglesias. Trying to get out in front. Can Iglesias outrun Brooklyn Baldwin here? It's a one-on-one. Iglesias wins it in the box. Trying to find a teammate. Cross it inside, and it was cut off. A good job there by Jalen Traver to avoid danger.
Yeah, Iglesias making the right play. She did what she had to do, which is win the ball and look for someone in the middle. Unfortunately for FC Dallas, nobody there to capitalize on this chance.
On the box and cleared out. Grace Peoples leaving it off. Back to Peoples. One back in the midfield by FC Dallas. Sophie Preston all the way back to Riley Albin. Albin sending it through. Oh, and here could be an opportunity for Lele Iglesias if she could get out in front. There was a lot of contact there. There was no one between Iglesias and the goal. Well, this could be a red.
I think it is going to be a yep.
It is going to be a red card.
Oh, wow. Not the smartest play there for Sting. It was the last man, and that's what the rule book says. If it's the last person and it's the defender, you bring him down. Automatic red card right there. Now Sting is going to have to play the rest of this game. the last 20 minutes of this one with one less player as she's given the red card here. And a dangerous free kick right outside of the box.
Ronalise Hartfield was the one who committed the act. And lucky that it wasn't just a yard inside. It would have been a penalty chance. But this is still a dangerous spot for FC Dallas. And now a dangerous final 20 minutes if you are on that Sting back line. Now dealing with just 10 women on the pitch. Casey Cochran will take it from 19 yards out.
Yeah, look for her to go low in this one and try to surprise the goalkeeper, as it is a pretty short kick here.
21.
Here's Cochran and high. Brought it high over the net. No threat there for Sienna Ryan.
Yeah, a little bit too much under that one. But despite that not being even close to being a goal, it's going to be a nerve-wracking last couple of minutes for Sting, as they are playing with one less player for the rest of this one. They do hold a 1-0 lead. And I expect FC Dallas to throw everything at them and look for that equalizer here late in the game.
Now short-handed Sting squad trying to cling to a 1-0 lead in the U17 girls final of the Dallas Cup. FC Dallas, they have slowly been able to build some offensive momentum, and that was when they were going against 11. Now against 10, can they find the hole that they're looking for to equalize this final and push this into PKs? Here's Bridget Gooch along the sideline, just keeping it out, crossing it inside, trying to find Cochran, and then cleared out by Beeman. Not all the way, though. Here's Sophie Preston. Kicked high into the air by Kennedy Butler and out of play to be a corner for FC Dallas. You just have to think it's only a matter of time before they finally break through.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you never want to lose any player by a red card, of course, but if you want to be Sting and look at things on the brighter side, they did lose an attacking player, and their back line is still intact, so that's a positive.
Here's an opportunity. Punched out by Ryan. Good job by that back line.
The downside of that, of course, is now that you really only have Kennedy Butler on the attack, as Hartfield was sent off here just a couple of minutes, 3 minutes ago to be exact, after making that foul.
Might be a situation where Tatiana Beeman has to increase her offensive importance, especially if FC Dallas is able to find the equalizer.
Yeah, and looking back, honestly, Nick, on that foul, I don't really blame Hartfield for that foul. If she wasn't able to do that, I mean, it was going to be a one-on-one for FC Dallas, and it could have turned pretty dangerous.
Put out of play in another corner here for FC Dallas, as FC Dallas is getting ready to make a substitution here. Doesn't appear it'll happen on this dead ball, but probably on the next one, as Adeline Gonzalez gets ready to come in. Here's the corner. Let's put it right into the middle of the box, but headed out. Good job by Sting to avert danger.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, and a good look inside. Will this be the chance for FC Dallas? And a great job to get it out of danger. Being able to come in and cut that off was Catherine Williamson.
No one there for FC Dallas to put it in the back of the net. But as expected, I mean, they were doing it before they were awarded the advantage here when it comes to players on the field. And now, obviously, with one more player than Sting, you expect to see this from FC Dallas. You expect to see those chances start to stack up. And for them, they wish that one of them is going to end up in the back of the net.
Roughly 15 minutes remain. Can FC Dallas break through to equalize after the goal in the 64th minute from Brooklyn Baldwin gave Sting the advantage? Sent ahead. Layla Iglesias trying to run it down with Bridget Gooch. Good communication there to let Iglesias take it. She's going to send a cross inside. It's poked out by Ryan right in front of the goal. Casey Cochran had a beautiful look at it, but Ryan with another save. Sienna Ryan keeps the goose egg on the scoreboard for Sting.
What a play by Sienna Ryan. Two-time and taking that one from the cross, and then on the second chance, she gets down low and, like you mentioned, keeps her gold untouched.
FC Dallas has found their most threatening attacks over the last 5 or 6 minutes. As Sting working with 10 on the pitch. Now substitution, 1 for each side. Adeline Gonzalez will check in for FC Dallas. That'll be in exchange for Trinity Morrow.
Yeah, FC Dallas with that substitution. They bring out a center back. And like you mentioned, number 22 going in, looking to add on to the attack even more for FC Dallas, as they know they need this equalizer to send this one to a penalty shootout.
I said that both sides were getting ready to make a substitution. We'll wait till the next dead ball for Sting to make theirs. Here's Iglesias, who has really ramped up her intensity in the last 10 minutes, but she was offside, maybe a little too intense. 13 minutes remain, plus stoppage time.
FC Dallas now with only 3 defenders back here, throwing everything up front, looking again for that equalizer that's going to send this one into the penalty shootout. Let's see what Sting responds with. I think they're going to look to, based on this substitution, it seems like they're going to look to get fresh legs on the defensive side of things to be able to manage that attack that's expected to come from FC Dallas here in the next couple of minutes.
Yanasa Oganobi will check in for Catherine Williamson. A change to that back line for Sting as they try to hold this 1-0 advantage intact. And never has 12 minutes probably felt longer than it does right now for Sting. FC Dallas controlling it on their side of the field. Addison Shimmick. Here's Butler trying to run it down. She has Beeman with her, but she just goes ahead and sends it forward all the way through to Lola Iris Ta.
Yeah, and if you're Sting, as you see right here, everyone's defending. Even Kennedy Butler, she's not even trying to go up front anymore. She's holding back and defending and looking to hold this 0 to the end of this one as we have a player down for Sting.
Yeah, it looks like Grace Peoples took a shot to the face at some point. Now she's getting looked at by our head official, Amy Balbier. Amy Balbier joined by Rachel Glago, Grace Barrett, and Elizabeth McDonald. All Americans out of the National Premier Soccer League. Peoples walking back toward the sideline, still having a conversation with our head official, Amy Balbier.
Yeah, I think just for safety reasons, she's going to have to step off here maybe for a couple of minutes.
Even if it is only for a couple of minutes, then Sting's dealing with 9 players. And it looks like it's going to be a concussion check for Grace Peoples.
Yeah, she's getting, we can see down the sideline here, she's getting checked by the doctor. So now it's a discussion for the coaching staff of Sting is, do you just go ahead and substitute her out, which I think it's what they're going to do. They were looking at their bench at least.
It's a tough decision for head coach Michael Orford here. You don't want to play with 9 players, even if it's only for 30 seconds.
And if you're FC Dallas, you have to capitalize on this one. Like you mentioned, playing with 9 players only.
They will play with 9 for now. Into the box already for FC Dallas. Cleared out. All the way to the midfield circle. Looks like Peoples is ready to check back in. They got to wait for the next dead ball, though. You can bet that Sting will try to clear it as far as possible. The next opportunity they get, but will they get an opportunity? FC Dallas trying to crash in. Sienna Ryan finally falls on top of the ball. A great job by the veteran goalkeeper.
Yeah, not only her, but Samantha Tobar as well, coming in clutch for her team after Sienna Ryan was unable to get a full control of that ball. As Tobar who stops the dangerous cross from coming in.
And Peoples checks back into the game. So Sting back with 10 on the pitch. Again, they don't have 11 because Ronalise Hartfield with a red card roughly 10 minutes ago.
You can sense the tension building up here for this last couple of minutes in this U17 final between FC Dallas and Sting, starting to build up in the stadium. As you mentioned, Sting playing with only 10 players. FC Dallas full squad looking to equalize this and sending it to the penalty shootout.
Roughly 7.5 minutes to go, plus stoppage time. Assume we might have a little bit of it after the Grace Peoples concussion check. Again, she is back in the game. 1 in the midfield area by FC Dallas, given right back to Tatiana Beeman. Now Grace Peoples sending it all the way through. Now Bridget Gooch sends that one all the way through and out of play.
A nerve-wracking last 7 minutes plus stoppage time is what we're expecting here at Toyota Stadium, Nick.
Out of play, it'll go over to FC Dallas. In a dangerous spot, Lele Iglesias on ball. Sent into the box. An opportunity for Cochran, and saved by Sienna Ryan once again, and able to control it before Cochran could come up and finish up the mess. How about Sienna Ryan in this second half, especially since Sting has gone down to 10? She's made some huge saves.
Yeah, she stepped up for her squad multiple times. Cochran right there had a good look at it right in the middle of the box. Not able to put a lot of power behind it. Sienna Ryan stepping up and grabbing a control of this one.
Sent through to the midfield area. Oguanobi sending it over to Tovar. Tovar sending it all the way back to Ryan. And it's given possession right back to FC Dallas. Here in the 85th minute, FC Dallas running out of time to find this equalizer. And sent out of play, it'll be a throw in for FC Dallas. And it'll be a substitution coming on as Emerson Bain will come on for Addison Miller.
Leaving the match is number 16, Addison Miller.
Yeah, Addison Miller, the right back for FC Dallas, coming out. And it seems like she's going to be replaced by the same position. Oh, that one could have been dangerous for Sting. Kind of ricocheted off her foot, but once again, Sienna Ryan poised under control there and her back line.
She's done a fantastic job here in this second half. I think if we had to do a woman of the match, it might be the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I agree. I think she's kept the lead for the Sting, and as we mentioned multiple times, both of these teams definitely know how to score the ball. In this one, though, not a lot of goals, and Sienna Ryan, a big reason why.
It's all the way through and out of play. Be a throw in now for Sting. Four minutes remain. Sienna Ryan sends it deep. Here's Tatiana Beeman. Grace Peoples headed up into the air. Sting has done a good job of at least taking up some possession. They haven't been able to hold it. It's been tough to do with only 10 on the pitch. But they've certainly taken some time off of the clock by working possession.
Yeah, I think if you're Sting, you're doing honestly what you can, like you mentioned, with one less player. You're kind of, you know, forced to do the things that they're doing, which is just kick the ball out, go chase it, waste as much time as possible.
Sent all the way through. It's an opportunity, a header for Iglesias, and it fell right for Sophie Preston and into the hands of Sienna Ryan. Stop me if you've heard that one before. Now 2.5 minutes. FC Dallas has found what feels like a dozen touches inside the box over the last 20 minutes or so.
Both head coaches in this one at the edge of their coaching box.
And everyone on the edge of their seat here at Toyota Stadium to see who can walk away with this U17 Dallas Cup championship. Bridget Gooch trying to win one-on-one there to try to regain possession. Less than 2 minutes. Emerson Bain now checking in. Able to win possession back, get it back to the midfield area. There's Addison Shimmick. Around to Sophie Preston. Preston with a good cross inside. Iglesias has a look at it and saved once again by Sienna Ryan. That was possibly the best one she's had today, and she's had a lot of good-looking ones.
Wow. Once again, Sienna Ryan coming up big. This one, just the hardest save of the game, I dare to say, just because it's such a quick and short shot right there. Definitely player of the match.
She still has work to do with a minute remaining. And that one's cleared out. Here's Grace Peoples now out on the run. Will she try for the counter?
She could have.
I think that's what her bench is screaming, to try and shoot, but Lola Iris Ta back out into the 18-yard box now.
Yeah, I think that's what the Solar coach, Michael Orfer, wanted her to do, at least kick the ball as furthest possible from your goal as you can. And obviously the goalkeeper was out of her line, so it could have turned into the second goal.
Here's Peoples trying to work that shield. It's out of play. Be a throw in here for Sting. Deep in their own half, or deep in the FC Dallas defending half, rather. Now out of play. FC Dallas will be able to throw it in. We are at 90 minutes.
The ref getting ready to announce.
5 minutes.
The fourth official has indicated that there will be a minimum of 5 minutes of extra time.
5 long minutes for Sting and 5 short minutes for FC Dallas as they look for the equalizer, and Sting looks to hang on and win this one by the minimum.
Here's Gooch to send it in. On a dangerous spot now, and Ryan comes up and makes the grab.
And guess who was there to interrupt that one? It's Kennedy Butler, now playing the defensive role. We saw her a lot in the first half attacking. Obviously, because they lost a player, she's forced to play in the back, and she's helping her team just as much, if not more, than what she was doing in the first half.
Cleared out before he could get into the box. Now cleared all the way out of play. And that'll be a throw-in for Sting. 1 minute and 15 seconds into stoppage time. Thrown into the opposing half. Now FC Dallas trying to quickly move upfield, find another attack. Here's Iglesias. Back to this left side for Preston. Preston's had a couple of good crosses, and Kennedy Butler deflects it out. This will be a corner opportunity for FC Dallas. They've had a couple of dangerous-looking corners as well, and coming in out of goal will be Lola Iris Ta to help out.
All 11, or I guess 10, but one player in the box.
Now across inside, and a couple of opportunities right there. Kennedy Butler helps clear it out. They're going to try to run it down and beat Lola Iris Ta to the punch. Here's Kennedy Butler. Can she shoot it from way out there? Oh, it's cut off by FC Dallas, and it's going to be a foul anyway.
Yeah, it looks like Kennedy Butler got pushed there in that one, and once again, Sting holding up and not letting FC Dallas capitalize in this one.
We're halfway through stoppage time, just 2.5 minutes. Sting trying to hold on here. Both of these teams have made a name for themselves this week for their offensive prowess, but it's been the defensive mind of both of these squads that have been on display in the Cup final. And for a Sting squad that has let to allow a goal all week, these 2 minutes are going to be certainly tough for FC Dallas to find a breakthrough.
Two minutes left here in this one for FC Dallas. Let's see what they can do here as they slowly build up and everyone slowly jogs to half of the field for Sting.
A lot of yelling on this sideline from both coaches' boxes. Maybe a couple more chances here. Here's an opportunity for Sophie Preston. Can Preston find a cross? She does inside, right in front of the goal, and no one was home for FC Dallas. It'll be a goal kick for Sienna Ryan. Ryan looked a bit befuddled there inside the 6-yard box. That could have been an opportunity for FC Dallas if anyone was home.
Yeah, it seemed like there was a little bit of confusion there. But once again, we've said it multiple times, Sting saving themselves from the equalizer here. FC Dallas continues to apply that pressure. They have less, or 40 minutes, actually, 40 seconds, I'm sorry, left in this one.
Maybe one more chance for FC Dallas to find the equalizer and push this into PKs. Into Iglesias. She's been good here in the second half, trying to find some sort of offensive rhythm. Sent all the way through over the head of Sienna Ryan.
And that right there might have just been the last one, as we have 10 seconds left.
And there it is, the final whistle. Sting SC with a hard-fought win here on the field of Toyota Stadium to take home the U17 Girls Dallas Cup Final. This was an exciting match for all 90 minutes that took us right until the final seconds to decide. as Ronalise Hartfield will come back out onto the pitch after having the red card to celebrate with her team, and rightfully so. Sting SC, the Dallas Cup champs. We'll be back right after this break to officially crown the new champions.
It is not the critic who counts, not the one who points out how the strong woman stumbles, or where the doer or deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the woman who is actually in the arena, so that her place shall never be with those cold and timid souls, who knew neither victory nor defeat.
There's a big deal going on at Whataburger, like the new Big Ranch Wrap, a crispy chicken strip, buttermilk ranch, cheese, and fresh veggies in a warm tortilla. Or go bigger with 5 premium Whata chicken bites. Or go bigger than big with our Bacon Cheese Whataburger Jr. with fresh 100% beef and melty cheese. Make it even bigger with fries and a drink for a little more. Now that's a big deal. The Whata deal, now at What a Burger. Download the app.
Whataburger's Bacon Steakhouse Double. Do you need it or do you want it? Do you need creamy steak sauce, crispy fried onions, aged cheddar, and crunchy bacon? Or do you want creamy steak sauce, crispy fried onions, aged cheddar, and crunchy bacon? And want even is a want if we want the want so badly that the want becomes a need. How should I know? I just push the card. Enjoy your burger.
Creamy, crispy, crunchy. The Whataburger Bacon Steakhouse Double is back. Download the app.
Our roots in this game run deep. We've been here, hydrating the grind with 50% more electrolytes. But it's time to raise the bar. This is our game, my game, your game, the beautiful game. From the ground up, we power soccer.
Welcome in, America. The Premier League season awaits.
A glorious finish by Saka.
At this stage, anything is possible.
Can Liverpool run it back-to-back?
Don't forget about Chelsea.
The Gunners are stacked.
Don't count out United.
Watch out for City. This is truly anyone's season. So no matter who you're cheering for or where you're at, this year's gonna be epic. You'll fit right in.
The good news was our house sold fast. The bad news was our house sold fast. We were pretty shocked and overwhelmed. What should I do with my stuff? Should I put it in a storage unit? And that's when my daughter said, there's this company called Pods.
They bring the container, you fill the container, and they take the Pods container and put it in a secure place. It was a complete sense of security, knowing that our stuff is safe.
I would definitely recommend moving with Pods.
Welcome back into Toyota Stadium as we are getting ready to crown the champions of the U17 Girls Division of the Dallas Cup. First off, to recognize our officials in this game, who are also recognized with medals. Amy Balbier was our head ref, assistant referee Rachel Glago, assistant referee Grace Barrett, and our fourth referee was Elizabeth McDonald, all out of the USA and the National Premier Soccer League. Now the medals are being handed over to the FC Dallas squad for their runner-up performance this week, and it was a really inspiring performance all the way to the final. A 7-0 win over Dallas Surf earlier this week, 3-0 over Dallas Texans. How about 16-0 over Solar SC, a fellow Solar SC program? 3-0 over Dallas Texans in the quarterfinal. In the semi, a 4-3 win over a separate Solar SC, but they could not quite take down this Sting squad here today. They had some moments, though, and in fact, arguably their best scoring opportunity came in the game's first minute. via Mia Slater, and then tried to cash in on many opportunities in the game's final 10-15 minutes, just wasn't able to do so.
Yeah, nothing to hang their heads on. I mean, they fought to the end, and they literally had chances from start to beginning, from beginning to end in this one. So definitely a tournament they should be proud of. Like I mentioned, they fought to the end, but Sting at the end coming out on top.
And Sting now being presented with the Dallas Cup medals. And what an effort that it was. That defense did not allow a goal all week. How about Sienna Ryan, the goalkeeper, doing her job, not only today but throughout the week as well. Got a feeling we're going to be hearing her name for years to come, not only in this event, but in events around the country and potentially even the world. With her performance here today, you could certainly maybe see why. But the difference was a goal off a corner for Brooklyn Baldwin in the 64th minute that allowed Sting to finally break through and take the 1-0 advantage. And even after losing Ronalise Hartfield to a red card just moments later, for the final 20 minutes, Sting was able to stand tall and keep that 0 on the scoreboard. And now being presented with the Dallas Cup trophy, the winners of the U17 Girls Division, Sting.
Yeah, real quick, back to Sienna Ryan, Nick. I mean, I think her performance just got better and better as time went on and as the game got harder for them. She simply stepped up. And, again, if we had a player of the match trophy to give it, it would definitely be to her.
And the trophy will be presented to head coach Michael Orford and his squad. Here based in the Dallas area. They'll be able to take this one home. After a perfect week here in Dallas at the Dallas Cup, once again, your U17 Girls Division Dallas Cup champions, Sting Black ECNL. We'll be back momentarily in about a half hour with the girls U16 Dallas Cup. We got 2 more matches and 2 more champions to crown throughout the day here at Toyota Stadium. But for now, it is Sting's moment here in the U17 division.